Welcome to Lesson 5 about Philippine domestic tourism at a glance of our course on Philippine culture and tourism geography. Today, we are looking at domestic tourism in the Philippines. Our objective is, of course, to provide an overview of the domestic tourism landscape in the country, covering visitor profiles, trends, and key contributors to tourism development. By the end of this lesson, it is expected that you should be able to identify the profile of tourists in the Philippines and understand the role of the Department of Tourism or DOT and private organizations in tourism development and promotion. Now, let's start with understanding the profile of the Filipino tourists. Who are the people traveling around the country? As to age and gender, most domestic tourists are between 25 to 44 years old, with a growing number of younger travelers aged 18 to 24. The question is why? Travel has become more accessible with budget travel options and, of course, social media that encourages younger people to explore and share. Now, in terms of gender, it's pretty balanced, but with a slight edge for female travelers, which is part of a global trend. Women, as you may agree, are more likely to travel for leisure, and we see that reflected in our data here as well. Now, as to the purpose of travel, most people travel for leisure and recreation, beach trips, nature adventures, and family vacations. Family visits come next, which is not surprising given our close family ties. And of course, there's some business travel, though it's not as common as leisure travel. Now, how about the favorite destinations? Popular destinations include places like Boracay, Palawan, Cebu, and Baguio. But recently, Siargao has also gained attention because of its natural beauty and surf-friendly beaches. As to travel duration and spending, domestic tourists tend to go on short trips, staying 2 to 4 nights on average. Spending has been increasing too, with people spending on accommodations, food, and local activities. Younger travelers in particular love experiential activities like diving, hiking, and exploring cultural sites. Now, let's take a look at the trends in visitor arrivals over the past 5 years. Growth and pandemic's impact. From 2018 to early 2020, domestic tourism was growing steadily. Then the pandemic hit in 2020, leading to a massive drop in travel because of lockdowns and restrictions. But we are seeing a positive recovery starting 2022 with many people eager to travel once again. Now, as to seasonal travel patterns, we can see that peak travel times are during summer, that is March to May, and the December holidays. So people love taking family trips during these times, which is great for our tourism economy. However, travel slows down during the rainy season, and of course, the pandemic had a big impact. but the demand for travel has proven resilient. Now, let's dive into the role of the Department of Tourism or DOT. What exactly do they do and how are they helping develop and promote domestic tourism? Now, let's take a look at the DOT's mission. Its mission is to promote and develop tourism in the Philippines, making it more attractive to both locals and foreigners. They are responsible for crafting policies, campaigns, and programs that encourage people to explore the Philippines. How about key programs and initiatives? The new campaign we have is Love the Philippines, which is a recognition of our natural assets, our long and storied history, our rich culture, and diversity. Kain na Travel, Food and Travel Festival. This program celebrates our food culture. It highlights different local cuisines and culinary traditions across the country. And of course, we have the green destinations. DOT is now promoting sustainable tourism, especially in popular spots where the environment needs more protection. We can cite Baguio, for example. As to safety programs, it is sufficient to say that health and safety have become priorities post-pandemic. The Safety Seal certification helps travelers feel confident that they are staying in safe and clean places. Now, how about training and skills development? Through TESDA partnership, DOT offers training for tourism professionals, which improves service quality in hotels, restaurants, and other tourist facilities. Better trained staff means happier tourists. That's obvious. Now, local government units and private businesses also play a big role in tourism. Let's break it down. One, local government units or LGUs. LGUs manage tourism at the local level, taking care of attractions, safety, and regulations. For instance, Baguio City has focused on ecotourism to balance tourism with environmental protection. And Cebu Sinulog Festival draws both locals and international visitors, showcasing local culture. Number two, collaboration with private businesses. Private businesses like airlines, hotels, and travel agencies boost tourism by offering affordable packages and promoting destinations. Big names like Ayala Malls and SM Supermalls also invest in local tourism by creating events and attractions that encourage people to travel. Additionally, airlines offer discounted fares, making it easier for people to explore beyond their hometowns. Now, let's proceed to the role of private organizations in tourism promotion. The question is, what about private organizations? They also play a huge role in promoting tourism. That is obvious. One, Tourism Industry Association. Organizations like PhilToa or Philippine Tours Operators Association and HRAP or Hotel and Restaurant Association of the Philippines work closely with the DOT. For instance, PhilToa organizes events like the Philippine Travel Mart that promotes domestic tourism packages. They provide a platform for tourism businesses to showcase what the Philippines has to offer. Number two, digital marketing efforts. Private companies and DOT work together on digital marketing to reach techie-savvy travelers on social media. Campaigns like Experience Philippines encourage travelers to share their trips online, creating a community-driven marketing. Number three, corporate social responsibility or CSR. Many large companies invest in CSR programs that support sustainable tourism. In fact, they work on protecting the environment, supporting local communities, and preserving our cultural heritage. Now, let's take a look at the key challenges in Philippine tourism development. Before we conclude, let's touch on some of these challenges that the tourism industry faces. One is COVID-19 recovery. The pandemic has had long-lasting effects, and we are still seeing the tourism sector recover. There is a big focus on rebuilding infrastructure and implementing health protocols to keep tourism safe. Number two is sustainable tourism. Popular destinations are facing issues like waste management and overcrowding. So sustainable practices are essential to keep these places attractive and at the same time functional. Number three, infrastructure and accessibility. Although we have some amazing destinations, not all of them are easily accessible. Infrastructure improvements like better roads, public transportation, and internet access in remote areas are needed. And of course, we have challenge on policy implementation. DOT's ongoing effort to create policies that balance tourism growth with local community well-being and environmental protection is to be highlighted. So, all right, to wrap up, let's go over what we have covered today. First, we learned about the profile of domestic tourists, who they are, where they like to go, and what they spend on. Number two, we talk about how the DOT, LGUs, and private businesses all contribute to tourism promotion and development. And we highlighted some challenges the industry faces like COVID-19, recovery, sustainable tourism, and infrastructure needs. So why is this important? Because domestic tourism is crucial for our economy and culture. By traveling locally, we support businesses, learn more about each other's destination, and even help build our country. As they say, huwag maging dayuhan sa sariling bayan. So for any questions or thoughts, we can share those things in our online platform. So next lesson, we will proceed to lesson 6 about kinds of tourist attractions in the country. Thank you so much and see you then.